sit out here for? No, I'm here, mate.
You can look at the good view.
Oh, fuck it. It's so nice in there, man. It's great. Really good. I'm sure fucking what's his name's around. There he is. Is that him? Yeah. Simon, Neil and myself.
Three.
No, me and Neil. Neil and I.
My friend. Hello.
I was across the other side. Have you gone up there?
Yeah, they always come from here.
I know, but you've gone in there to sit in there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Beautiful.
Very good. How are you? I need a tea for tonight. Yeah, 600.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes I take
I've got a mind. This is my extension cord.
I've got this top.
Amazing. How was your week? Good?
Enjoying the World Cup, guys?
I'm trying, but it's a lot of football, huh?
It's a lot. Yeah,
It's a lot of football. Hey, I'm going to quickly do a content piece for Victoria after. Is that alright? Cool. Here you go. Here's Victoria. Do you mind if I sit there? After?
I've got my effects mic here, but I can give you an extension so you can see this.
That's fine. I'll figure it out. Let me just find those benches. Yeah.
Apparently the goalkeeper pulled off an unbelievable save to keep it from you.
Carlton?
Yeah.
Actually, Neil, I don't think I can give you the extension. I don't really want.
What do you mean?
It's a bit short. I can't extend.
Which
it.
one?
Your.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out. I think I can today.
Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. This is for you.
Can you hear me?
How you doing? This is Paul Stanley from KISS.
I love Neil.
Say again?
I love Neil because he takes it so fucking seriously. And because I've done it for so many years, I've done all that. I just want to call the game these days.
Of course. That's understandable.
Testing, testing, testing.
Pass this down.
Especially in the summer, I don't mind going out in for a drive. It's not cold. But a day like fucking cold day.
That's a miserable night. So cold. I do miss the old stand on the other side of this crowd.
What, the fucking scoreboard? Come on, dude. No. That was horrendous. In the hot weather, it was alright, but it's a lot better now.
I just don't understand how they renovate this whole media all the way to no camera. That's what I one thing I understood.
Hey! Did you get it right or what?
Yeah. What's that?
Who's that, Ali?
Huh?
Who's that?
Photographer, the next day.
Oh, I've never met her.
She's very nice. Very nice.
Go for it, mate. Come on, you.
Huh?
Yourself over there.
How'd you do? That's good. Had a long day, mate. Very long day. It was. Lights off. A tax consultant. Is it? Yeah, 100%.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Yeah. You know, he met me when I was starting out. I was 19 when I started. I was 19 when I started. 18 actually. Oh, thank you very much. No, and the fact that we get to do it together is.
We was telling me the other day. Thanks for not making the game boring. I go, well, you know,
That's exactly just go here because I can't.
I'll put the FX mic there. You're going to be into that one.
Right. Well, I'll go next to you then.
The extension is long enough so you can see.
I'll go next to you.
Sounds good. You can hear each other. I lost my voice by the end of that night. We had a function here. I left home at 10:30. I lost my voice. And then it took about a day and a half to get back. Chamomile was honey, chamomile, pretty much got it back. And then my wife got the one well, she copped it this week, like the whole week after, and I was okay.
Yes, mate.
What's happening?
Hello, sir. You commentating tonight?
Yeah, with Neil. It's only because I've done it for so long. You know, I was saying that the guys back up there, they were asking me, you know, back in the day, mate, we used to have to come now before kick-off, get our team sheets and all that, and at the end of the game, we stayed back and interviewed both coaches. By the time we were done, it was like a 4-hour job. The guys are on inside the grandstand. The new side, yeah, they're in there, go there. Joey and on the right.
The ebbs and flows of this great competition is the Senol NPLM Men's Victoria, and there is no better match tonight on Friday the 10th of July than this one in the heart of Oakleigh, as the Oakleigh Cannons take on third place Avondale FC at Jack Edwards Reserve. For Avondale, it's been a rare few weeks for them since their poor start to their campaign. They've lost their last two. Of course, one of the greatest games of the season, as defined by many to be one of the potentially the greatest NPL Victoria matches of all time, as they fell to Preston agonisingly 3-2 in conceding 2 stoppage time goals. Were it for Patrick Wall's debut goal earlier on in the contest, they might have ran out winners against the Preston Lions, but it were not to be. For Oakleigh, well, it's another opportunity for them to stake their claim on top of the table, currently with just 1 point separating themselves and Hume City, who sit in second place with a 6 differential advantage by virtue of goal difference as well. The last game they lost wasn't actually in the league, the Oakleigh Cannons. They last lost to Brunswick Juventus all the way back in May in the Doherty Cup. Since that point, they've been undefeated in the league since the 13th of March. They lost agonisingly 3-2 to Heidelberg United, following a late flurry towards the end of that contest. I'm your commentator for tonight, Neil Simons, joined by one of the great Victorian footballing commentators, Arthur Akratides. Tonight is going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And when you have two great footballing sides coming up against each other, it's a two headline items of the Senol NPLM Men's Victoria doing battle tonight.
Welcome, Neil, and thanks for the lovely, kind words. It's a very, very nice night for football. It's not cold, which is something rare for a Friday night here at Jack Edwards Reserve. And as you said, it's a mouth-watering clash, first against third. And Oakleigh Cannons in the blue strip, kicking to the goal left of screen. And Avondale, having come from such an agonisingly devastating loss last week, will want to make amends here. But they got a brick wall in the Oakleigh Cannons, Neil, and I think it's like a really exciting clash for us to do today, and I hope that all the viewers here enjoy it.
Well, they do have the second best defensive record in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria with only 18 goals conceded. Avondale, ironically enough, the best goal-scoring team in the league. I'm sure an 11-0 win against Dandenong Thunder will help as we take you through the starting lineups for tonight's contest. And a number of players, as we do get in most Senol NPL Men's Victoria games, coming up against each other. We'll start off with the away side in Avondale. Number 1, Jacob Muir. Number 1, Jack Gibson. Number 3, Jacob Muir. Number 4, Patrick Flopman. Number 9, George Ott. Number 10, Bruno Fornaroli has the armband. Number 11, Max Green. Number 13, Yite Towns. Number 14, Blake Carpenter. Number 19, Brandon Lundy. Number 21, Adama Traore. Number 23, Christian Trajewski. And Matthew Reid does return to the bench, which is a notable player to bring across, who's a very talented centre-half for the Oakleigh Cannons. Number 2, Brodie Boyce. Number 3, Connor Hampson. Number 5, Jacob Tratt. Number 6, Matthew Miller earns one of his first starts here at Jack Edwards Reserve on his return to Victorian football. Number 10, Joe Guest. Number 11, Adam Duratovic. Number 14, Kingsley Sinclair. Number 15, Campbell Strong. Number 19, Lebib. Number 21, Tom Manos, a goalkeeper in his own company, coming up against his former side for the second time this season. And number 22, Joseph Ford. As we do see, Adama Traore on the ball down that left-hand channel. One of the high-octane and high-credentialed imports for Avondale, Arthur Akratides. Your thoughts on that acquisition?
Geez, I'll tell you what, that's a great acquisition. I've got full of experience there, the former Victory player. And no doubt when you've got the quality of Adama Traore, it can only help your side as Lebib, who has had an absolutely outstanding season, twisting and turning his way forward already. And he's been one of the best players of this Cannon side early on this season. Hampson does well and somehow wins the ball. Ball played down the line to Guest, but throw into Avondale, who really have probably been a little underdone in the last couple of weeks, having won that big, monstrous win, 11-0. Neil, it's sort of back down to earth now for them.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, it didn't quite start against Dandenong Thunder, in my opinion. I think there's remnants of that earlier portion of the season where they were a little bit disjointed. That sort of come into play. Of course, that game against Dandenong City was a 3-1 loss. Away from home, they were very much outplayed and outmuscled in that contest. Of course, a double from Timothy Atharinos. And Bruno Fornaroli hasn't scored as well in the league since that 11-0 win where he got just a casual 4 goals. Very intrigued to see Brandon Lundy starting yet again for Avondale. He was a player that hasn't featured entirely for the Avengers for a lot of the campaign. And someone who, yes, he's in his second stint at the Avengers, did start that Australian Championship quarter-final against Morden City Excelsior. As for a rare time, I actually have to recover the ball for one of the ground marshals. It's gone into the stand here. I can't say I've done that before. As we see Duratovic now, Sinclair dropping into midfield. Out left is Guest. He's slipped on the cross. Oh, plenty of danger for Jack Gibson, but Lebib is going to retain and win the throw-in for the Cannons.
I tell you what, it's dangerous cross that for the goalkeeper. Swirling ball, basically swirling in and then away from him. And in the end, you probably say he done okay there. The ball again in the box. Twisting, turning. Can they clear the ball here? Traore does that well. And Avondale go forward. Twist of play. Chance for Lundy to play it all the way back to Muir. He gets it back again.
I think many people have understated the importance of this centre-back pairing of Patrick Flopman and Jacob Muir. I mean, they're both incredibly credentialed. One of the, in my opinion, best credentialed back two to have in those centre-half positions, of course. Muir, with plenty of games for the Perth Glory back in his day. 33 appearances in the A-League. Patrick Flopman as well, with several A-League stints with the likes of Sydney FC, Brisbane Roar, and also time in K-League too with Yeongnam. So to have that experience in the heart of defence and to be those ball-carrying players that they can be, it's a real blessing to have.
Yeah, it's, solid defences win titles, and you're right there, Neil. We've got some scores just for those viewers that aren't aware. And the Magic are 1-0 up against Green Gully, who have just got a red card right on 45 minutes. So it's 1-0 at the moment to the Magic as Avondale try and go forward. Referee allows the offside flag in the end. And South Melbourne are 1-0 up after 2 minutes against Dandenong City, but it's stayed the same at the moment. It's 1-0 there, but I was aware of the South Melbourne substitute goalkeeper making an outstanding save to keep it at that score. So some big clashes here this week. And you've got Preston playing Hume as well. It's almost like a championship weekend.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's understated when you go into these winter months. It's obviously a lot cooler, and maybe the focus is slightly diverted off the Senol NPLM Men's Victoria with, of course, Australia Cup action starting in a few weeks. Neither of these two sides made it through to the round of 32 this year, which is actually a rarity, to be honest, if you consider recent seasons. So all focus for these two sides really is on the league, and Oakleigh are in a very commanding position, and if Avondale can manage to get themselves, we have to call it a shock result, we'll see as to how that might set the tone for the rest of their season. As we see now, Connor Hampson. This is his fourth season with the Oakleigh Cannons. As Track looks to play a smashing ball towards Hampson, who made a fantastic run. Can't quite fashion the cross in, although it's still kept in play. Hampson knew he was in an offside position. And the goal kick has been given to Jack Gibson in goals. And two very credentialed goalkeepers, and not often you get to say two Sydney-born goalkeepers in net tonight for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, they've both had good seasons, and especially Thomas Manos coming from Avondale and going across town to the Cannons. He's certainly improved his bearing here in this club, and he's I think he's been a very solid in his first season here, and been one of the reasons why Oakleigh Cannons are on top of the Senol NPL here in Victoria. But then again, we've always had not many teams that Oakleigh coach has coached that aren't up there at the start of the year or even mid-year. As you know, Chris Taylor, phenomenal coach. As Avondale go forward, pulled into the box, and Manos mops up.
Yeah, Chris Taylor's sides, they take a bit of a while to get going. That's what we've noticed across the Senol NPL Men's Victoria era, and he gave a really wonderful interview to High Press throughout the week. Big shout out to Sasha Pisani for sort of profiling him in his career, a very credentialed coach, and I can't think of the last time that a CT side has missed finals, to be honest, so it's a real testament to his coaching acumen. And talk about experienced coaches against inexperienced. It's Jonathan Germano in the dugout tonight. Well, this is one of the most balanced rivalries in the NPL Men's Victoria. Avondale have won 3 of the last 5. Of course, many remember that 6-2 win for the Cannons against Avondale in 2022. the glorious year for the Cannons, of course, when they secured the NPL Men's Victoria Championship at the Village. And now Manos will get things back underway.
In that great new grandstand there that the Cannons have produced here this season, an absolute marvel of a facility. Just came out of there, and I just absolutely take my hat off to the Cannons fraternity here. They've really done a great job here and improved the facilities of Victorian football immensely by getting that $14.5 million stand ready and willing and ready to go. And the more quality we get, the better the standard of football will be in Victoria. As Guest plays the ball wide. And a little bit too wide, Neil.
Yeah, a little bit too wide. It was down that right channel for Matthew Miller. We haven't even spoken about Miller yet, and talk about credentialed players. I have to say he most likely eclipses just about everyone on the park. Of course, big family name, the Miller name. And he, of course, returns to Victorian football after a glittering career at Dandenong Thunder and South Melbourne, where he achieved all about the success there. 18 goals in over 60 appearances, following stints with the Jets, the Mariners, Shrewsbury Town as well, St Mirren in Scotland, had 12 appearances at the Scottish Premiership Club, and more recently at Istiqlal and Havada, both in Tajikistan and Iran. So you can't say he's not well travelled, as Lundy leaves a path for Yitai Town. So that's a sumptuous turn. Rolls a square for Trycheski. The New Balance Player of the Month for the month of June. Spoke very professionally about his time at Avondale and what it means to be in this system in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. And of course, it was a bit special for him coming up against his former teammates last week against Preston. Muir. Floated ball was directed towards George Ott. Slightly too much mustard on it. Manos will claim and leave a path for Connor Hampson down this left channel. Further infield is Duratovic, who is in an offside position, unfortunately for him. He had a really good start to his season, Adam Duratovic, and he hasn't quite kicked on in recent months.
I'm sure that Chris Taylor will be hoping that he can slowly get a bit of form before the final series locks in. But he has got Liston Diaz on the bench, who was injured a few weeks back, and he's back ready and available.
Yeah.
As is Joseph Knowles, who we know how good he is.
Absolutely.
Coming back from Arico.
Yeah, and to speak on Duratovic, such a fantastic start to the season, and wasn't distinctly dominating games per se on a game-by-game basis, but when you score 4 against Green Gully, I'm sure that does a lot for your stocks. And that game was on the 1st of May. It's been just over 2 months since he's last scored, as Joseph Ford looks to go on a fledgling run down that right-hand side. Trycheski. Floated ball. Otts was sort of the same position as Bruno Fornaroli. Miller gets it clear. Trycheski. Traore. Muscling with Duratovic. They're both involved with Melbourne Victory in recent seasons. Duratovic most notably in the youth team. Now Lundy. He's also the youth technical director at Altona Magic.
It's a unique little situation there.
Very unique, I must say. Yitai Towns. Oh, that is exquisite. technical acumen from Towns on display. Floated in by Lundy. And now Yitte Towns on the volley. He got one last week and he was looking for yet another.
It was a good effort from dangerous area, but in the end easily mopped up by Manos. Guest is trying to find an avenue through at the moment, and it's both teams feeling each other out at the moment. And free kick to the Cannons, the grandstand side of the ground. Quickly taken. Trapp plays it wide to Hampson. Labib. Hampson again. Trapp. He's been really solid since he's come back in the side. Labib not challenging there. And the throw in to Avondale. And you can see the brilliance of Fornaroli. He's top goal scorer for Avondale. And of the league, for that matter.
Yeah, he's just
phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
And you can't get rid of quality. Quality's there. Former Socceroo, we can say.
Hold that thought, because there's a lot of intriguing discussions to have about Socceroos here and there. Is Campbell strong? I'm not sure if that was a cross or an intended shot, but Fornaroli back to goal. Trycheski lofts one over the top for the Canberran and Max Green, who managed to get it in position, but Brody Boyce is on a fledgling run down this right-hand channel, and a sumptuous ball from Guest, but Duratovic couldn't get on the end of it. That was a pinpoint pass from former Curzon Ashton man and Joe Guest.
There's a bit of a complaint there from Miller to the referee. Got in the way of him running through to the ball and wanted the ball to be called back for a drop ball, but the referee decided no.
Yeah.
Which was quite disturbing for the Cannons. Probably had a chance to clear the ball, but they can't. And the referee's allowing play to go on. Still going, and it's an Oakleigh free kick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of free play there in the end.
It's quite a scrappy opening 17 minutes here at Jack Edwards Reserve. And I just want to note something very intriguing. That Avondale in the 23s, the game that just finished about half an hour ago, they kicked off at 6:15. Marcus Fakrana, Saita Morai, Ayuk Mao, and Dylan Jakupi all involved. Jakupi was on the bench. So, unlike some Senol NPLM men's Victoria sides, if players are fit, they'll usually just sit out if they're not selected. But it's a mantra that's been expressed, and Duratovic with a great shot and an even better save from Jack Gibson as Fornaroli twisting, turning. The diagonal ball executed to effect. Carpenter nips inside and beaten off the ball by Ford. Labib was racing forward. Nyamya, Fornaroli, his former Perth Glory teammate, and now Avondale brother. And as we see, Max Green with a throw-in opportunity on this right-hand side.
Just chance to take stock here and see what they can do. Long throw for Avondale. Long throw. Back post is free. And charge down, and some good work there by Labib to turn away from goal. He's really good stuff. Guest plays it back to Trapped.
And you speak of Labib was brought in as a fullback. And to see that he's got 7 goal contributions for the season, of course.
Just amazing. He's done really well.
Yeah, he's an exceptional player. And in terms of his technical acumen and what he's brought across from Western Australia, And I'm going to call 2026 the year of the Western Australians in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. Talk about players that have come across in that league and succeeded. There's plenty of them. Arthur, I would have to say. Oh, a miscommunication between Lundy and Gibson. Lundy does well to mop up, but plenty of space left for Lebib. As Muir, a man on a mission, but in his pursuits, committed, shall we say, needless foul.
Needless foul, and 20 minutes gone. And we haven't had a score here, but certainly been pretty much an arm wrestle. Chance to take stock here for Guest. Swerving ball. Chance to clear away and dribbling over to Gibson, who's decided to go wide early. Traore is running off the ball. He gets it, plays it back. Straight away, the attempt to try and go down that line is evident. Trachevsky had a great game a few weeks back when they destroyed Altona Magic coming off the bench. And absolute sheer class. Good to see him back and playing regularly.
Yeah, very good. It's always good when players are more consistent in their intentions, I suppose, going forward. And more so, too, than Adama Traore, who only had the 6 A-League men's appearances last season, struggled for game time. And Jonathan Germano has given him the starting nod in his first few weeks, which it's a pretty difficult thing to do when you have Blake Carpenter, who's also an ordained left back, and he's been played as a winger tonight, which is very much intriguing, I'd have to say, Arthur.
Yeah, solid play there. Bustling Labib off the ball, Lundy there. Hampson, good work there, trying to win the ball. Push the ball wide. Labib's got it back. An early ball. Duradovic trying to run the ball down. Gibson has options wide. And the ground is in immaculate condition. I'm so impressed with the quality of the pitch after it got relayed going back a few weeks. Fantastic stuff. And this is the kind of football you want to see on a ground like this. Certainly improved immensely over the years, has Jack Edwards Reserve. Gibson now plays it wide again. Trying to find avenues to goal and not being allowed to play the ball early. Traore coming for it. It's gone all the way back to Gibson. Gibson charged down, lobs the ball over to Lundy. And now Labib's won it. Can Labib go all the way? He's cut it across. The ball played to the back post. Chance now. Still Traore runs away with it. And a chance gone begging there, Neil. I thought they would have done better with that one.
Oakleigh have never been reticent to playing it around the box. And I think that their movements are very sharp. They've been pressing up extremely high. Just can they find that opening? And they've been able to do that tonight, here and there, as Campbell Strong gets on the edge of that pass. Labib with space, cuts right, Campbell Strong. And Gibson can't do enough to keep it in. And he's conceded his side the corner. Oakleigh, just about to say, just that bit on top tonight. Kingsley Sinclair, the Kiwi, will swing this one in. And if you look at Kingsley Sinclair and what he's been able to provide for this Cannons side across the last few seasons now. Sort of went under the radar and has been a consistent contributor following some very integral stints at a number of New Zealand National League clubs and a stint in the lower tiers of Germany as well. Sinclair, the delivery, it was sharp. Oh, whisked away from the back post. I think that might have been Jacob Tratt, but it took a deflection and will go out for yet another corner. And those are the type of deliveries you want to see.
Fantastic delivery. Almost there. Across the face of goal. And again now, trying to emulate the same ball. Searching ball. Headed across, away, and safely, just a great little turn there. What a fantastic turn that was by Towns.
As we see Lundy, Gibson, now Flopman. Avondale happy to knock the ball around their back four. It's very unorthodox to utilise Blake Carpenter as a winger. Haven't quite unlocked him thus far. Here's Flopman. Looks to his left, Traore. Nipping in field. Muir inside the centre circle. Oh, that was a well-weighted ball for Trycheski, but just couldn't quite get onto it. Guest. Looping ball over the top. The two Western Australians in Labib and Jacob Muir. Toing and froing Hampson. Well-weighted delivery to the back post, and no one is there to meet it. And now Carpenter will pick up the scraps. Isn't going to rush things. Traore plays with a degree of sharpness that you rarely see in Australian football, as the lateral pass is played towards Towns. Muir. Trycheski fizzes a ball. He nipped over the top from Ott. It was neat there. Carpenter with the attempted cross. Manos comes to punch it, but Carpenter spotted Manos off his line, and eventually Manos does claim the ex-Melbourne Knights goalkeeper and spent plenty of time in the A-League systems in New South Wales region as well.
He did quite well there coming off his line. He saw the danger and probably didn't get the cleanest punch, but did enough to make them think twice about getting that ball.
Well, he hasn't mistaken him, Tom Manos. So does Jack Gibson. So does every goalkeeper in this league. It's just about prioritising and making the most of those potential mistakes as Manos. Oh, talk about commentators' curses. That's the apt description. Didn't quite get all of that on his right foot at all.
It wasn't the greatest back pass, let's not lie about it.
That's very true. That's very. I think I should cut him some slack. My apologies, Thomas.
Yeah, it was probably not the greatest back pass. Saw encroaching player there, but ultimately got away with it. We can ill afford to give Manos the mozzie here. Ball played wide. Hampson. He's done well. Curl punched away by the keeper. And Gibson. Ball played forward now. Manos has stayed back, and smartly so. And just lobbed the ball over the encroaching Ott. Or should I say Lundy?
Perhaps. Of course, we'll take you through the scores in the other games shortly. At Green Gully Reserve, they trail 1-0 to Altona Magic. As you mentioned, a red card to Green Gully. Owen McCloskey with the goal. South Melbourne lead 1-0 against Dandenong City through a goal from Sebastian Pasquale. And 0-0 at Preston up against Hume City, which is going to be one of the other clashes that many will focalise on tonight. Hume City with an opportunity to potentially go into first place if, of course, Oakleigh failed to win. As we see Patrick Flopman. Traore fashions in a low cross, looking for his former non-victory teammate in Fornaroli. Carpenter pushed off the ball. Flopman chests it down. Trycheski laterally was Fornaroli, and Jacob Trapp taking no chances as Gibson is given the opportunity to recycle. Here's Jacob Muir. Lundy. Rarely do you get a back three in possession, none of which were born in Victoria. Of course, Lundy, formerly of the Newcastle Jets. Muir. Lundy also had a stint at Oakleigh, let's not forget, a few seasons ago, alongside Stefan Valentini. We understand that Valentini is out with a long-term injury, so most likely won't be featuring for the rest of the Senol NPLM Men's Victoria season. So best wishes to Stefan Valentini.
Yeah, a bit of few injuries there for the great player who actually played for the Cannons as well. Deep ball in the box. And Valentini having represented Avondale and Oakleigh Cannons. And we wish him all the best as we tick over 31 minutes here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Deep ball in the box. Manos found it to go all over, way over the bar. And Manos seeing his ball go over the way over the bar and takes it to the right side and marshals his troops to go to the right side of the ground. And notice that not much playing out of the back these days, driving the ball forward to try and get that second ball from the spill or a flick on. And depending on the team, they seems to work sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah, there's no distinct, I think, route to goal in this game for either side. The quality's certainly been there from the two number 10s in Joe Guest and Trycheski. But he's dropped into left back at the moment. In possession, granted, I know he'll nip into those central attacking positions, but might there be a route to goal here with Labib? He's got Guest to his left. Will he go all alone? He will. But he's sent that out for a throw-in, believe it or not.
He went out for a throw-in.
Yeah.
Swerved away. Nowhere near the goal.
Hey, you have to try your luck. You have to try your luck.
It's half-time at Dandy City in South Melbourne. Still 1-0 to South, and Altona still 1-0 up against Green Gully. The other game, Hume against Preston, has started. 17 minutes in there. A really important clash there for both sides.
Vital, I think, for Preston to get themselves some momentum. I mean, you talk about fixture congestion. 3 games in 8 days is quite the task. Is Duratovic. Neatly cuts onto his right. It's Labib who stands up. But Lundy was there to meet him. Green. Into feet was Fornaroli and bypasses Jacob Tratt. Whisking left. Strong. The outlet pass was fantastic towards Adama Traore. And now Carpenter. Nips in field. Carpenter. Good combination play. Traore, Fornaroli. Can he find the angle? He could. Otts. Big chance for Avondale. Now look to recharge. Now through Patrick Flotman. The crossfield ball towards Green. Keeps it in play. Trycheski. A bit of space for Green to send in a delivery that wasn't of much conviction. And Lundy will gather the troops yet again. They've got the wind in their sails at the moment by way of momentum. Yitte Towns. And now to Lundy. And that pass was very much misdirected. And Matthew Miller might go alone here. Bypasses Trycheski. Strong. Labib. Overlapping was Connor Hampson. Campbell Strong. 18 starts this season for Campbell Strong. Lateral pass. Guest. Cut off by Trycheski. He's got momentum, albeit not anymore, as Campbell Strong has said, I'll take a bit of your jersey with me. And has been awarded the first yellow card of tonight's clash.
Altona's gone 2-0 up. And just scored in the 55th minute. It's a crucial goal in the context of their season, as Trycheski wasn't happy about that. Just thinking there could be just trying to work out what's going on.
Thomas Manos is in a heap here, which is not good if you're a Oakleigh Cannons supporter. And we know...
As we're speaking, South has gone 2-0 up.
Oh, there we go. So we have seen a few keepers go down with potential goalkeeper injuries, perhaps.
Should I go and get ready, or...?
He looks to be okay. He looks to be okay. And well, they do have young Cooper Portman available on the bench if they want to use him as a part of the under-14 NTC program.
Backup goalkeeper for Oakleigh is Zach Bowling.
So Cooper Portman was on the bench for the 23s, my apologies. Zach Bowling, of course, the backup keeper for the Cannons now.
Yep. So we got a few geese on the ground. What's going on, Neil?
Well, Amy Park might have the seagulls. We have geese.
We've got a variety of... There might be ducks, actually. It's
ducks.
Amazing to see bird life with the bright lights here at Oakleigh.
Is it a gaggle of geese? Do we say a dazzling ducks? I don't know. It's I'm trying to think of alliteration to combine with football, and I don't think I can.
It's healthy crowd here on the far side of the grandstand, and some a healthy crowd as the Cannons try something different, but not working their wings as they normally do today. Hasn't really been as fluent for them.
Yeah, it hasn't. And I think it's the old adage of, it's been a chess match between these two sides. It has, in complexion, but I think viewing this game as its own silo, these two teams are very evenly matched. And Avondale have been in form in prior weeks, notwithstanding the last two results, but in this part of town, they can succeed. And we've seen that in recent weeks. They can take on teams, dominate teams, and when they're in a groove, when they're in a flow state, they can score goals in abundance. As Carpenter switched to the right channel now. Pass does meet Traore. Tries to fashion a cross. Couldn't do so. Upended by Joseph Ford. But intercepted by Carpenter, who's now ventured left yet again. Trycheski. Carpenter. Oh, that's a monstrous challenge. I think that might have been Brody Boyce. Yes, it was. As the Cannons would themselves a throw in, and we're approaching the 40th minute mark, Arthur, and
we really haven't had a proper chance on goal.
No, we haven't. There's obviously been shots on target, most notably the one from Duratovic that tried to trouble Jack Gibson, but notwithstanding that effort, there's not been much. It's very much stop and start this game, and it's probably what, if you're a Hume City supporter, you'd be keeping an eye on this fixture.
No doubt both teams will probably be happy to go in not conceding, that's for sure.
Well, that's exactly right. Jacob Tratt. This, of course, is third season at the Cannons. He spent just about 2.5 seasons at the Cannons. He joined in the mid-season transfer window of 2024. Started his career at Saddleton Sharks at a senior level before moving across to Sydney FC, where he didn't make a single appearance. Sydney United, Wellington Phoenix, went back to the Sharks. Themselves have actually made a huge acquisition, signing Matt Yeoman in the mid-season transfer window, ex-Socceroo.
Chance now for Guest to try and manufacture some of his brilliance here. One of the more decisive players in this team, in both teams. Certainly one of my favourite. Guest, curling ball, the header! Oh, 1-0! What a tremendous header! My Lord! And that was devastating, that.
Welcome back to Victorian football, Matthew Miller.
And what a ball that was by Guest, a curling ball, and searching, and Miller's thumping header gave Gibson no chance just before the shades of half-time, and a crucial goal for the Cannons.
Well, you talk about the early years of the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. Matthew Miller was a defining feature from the year 2014. In the year 2026, he returns to the stage that made his career, and he's got himself on the score sheet in a massive moment for the Oakleigh Cannons on the stroke of half-time, as you so diligently called Arthur Akratides. Avondale with a huge moment to get themselves back in this contest. How may they do so? Jacob Muir. It's Flotman. Trycheski.
And Neil, we said it, Guest, you know, he's got that brilliance about him. And what an exquisite ball.
He hasn't really been that active tonight in possession, but off the ball and in those set-piece situations, he's one of the best they come, to be completely honest. As we see Hampson now throw it in on this near side. Green, Otts. Guest hacks it away. Muir. Towards Jack Gibson. Gibson towards Flotman. Flotman now assessing options. Trycheski weaving his way. Oh, this is a great individual run from Christian Trycheski, but he could only meet the brick wall of Joseph Ford, and the Cannons might be away here. Lebib. Oh, that's slightly well over the top for Matthew Miller to reach. However, it's not a goal kick, it'll be a throw, so Avondale with one last roll of the dice, you'd say, before the half-time interval.
He had Hampson running down the left here. Maybe if he switched play, it would have been a lot more fruitful for him. But like you said, Neil, it's chances few and far between, but that was a really the kind of goal you love seeing from quality players. And like you said, Miller coming into the side, a new fresh face, and what a way to start your account.
Such a well-credentialed player. 9 appearances for Shrewsbury Town in the English Football League. I think that was during COVID as well. And to think of the heights that he's reached, probably one of the highest heights you could reach as a Senol NPL Men's Victoria player. 2 minutes of added time in this first half. Just a reminder, the opening goal, we think it came off Matthew Miller's head. I've seen own goals be scored in a similar manner. Perhaps that might be of the apt description. It was very eerily similar to the own goal that Socceroos benefited from last week against Egypt. Too soon, maybe, I'm not sure, to talk about that one. Ott. That was out of play. Good to see the youngsters of Oakleigh out tonight as well in force with their beanies. I believe those are new and available to purchase. Joe Guest wonderfully modelled them during the week on the social channels.
Funnily enough, I did get one myself, but from obviously my team, Chisholm United, which is the sister club of Oakleigh. Hello to all the boys and gang at Chisholm. So it's coming. It is nice and warm, I must say.
Very, very nice and warm. Trycheski has space. Ott, deft touch. Can Fornaroli get there? And I think the goal has been confirmed to be Matt Miller. At least if Sofa scores anything to go by. Jacob Muir. Is there one last chance for the Avengers? It's Lundy. That's a delightful ball. It's Max Green across the face. Oh, Joseph Ford was there. And they'll win themselves a corner as well. That's easily Avondale's best passage. And you have to unlock the pace and technical acumen of Max Green down that right-hand channel. It was devastating for Canberra, Croatia in the Australian Championship, especially against Preston last season. Here's Trycheski. Neat ball in. Manos comes to punch. Strong gets it away. Play will be waved on as far as Labib. And that will posit a moment to reflect for both sides as we head into the sheds here at 1-0 to the home side by virtue of a return to the Senol NPL Men's Victoria for Matt Miller, who gets himself the all-important goal. And we'll be back with you in 15 minutes for the second half. Welcome back to round 20 action in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. The home side Oakleigh with a 1-0 lead against the Avengers by virtue of a goal from Matt Miller returns to Victorian football, and more importantly, under Chris Taylor, where he, of course, coached him at South Melbourne in the mid to late 2010s. And no changes for either side, it seems, so we'll be back underway shortly. Arthur Akratides, your thoughts on that opening 45?
No doubt it was a scratchy first half for both sides and limited chances for both sides, but ultimately Oakleigh did break through just around that 41st minute mark with that great goal by Miller. It was a super ball into the box by that man Guest, and I just don't think we're going to see any free play here, because both sides are going to be tussling away an arm wrestle here, because both quality teams have got some quality super players, and no doubt Avondale now has to go out and try and find an opening and try and get that equaliser, and they've got a whole half to do it in. Deep ball as Manos mops up easily. So, Neil, I think no doubt with what's at play, Avondale have to open up, and that could also be in Oakleigh's favour.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think Oakleigh can punish teams, especially on the counter, as we have seen this season. Yute Towns venturing forward. It's Blake Carpenter nips in. Oh, completely sells the candy for Trats. Carpenter. Fornaroli! Oh! And the deflection from Tom Manos wasn't able to be brought home by Blake Carpenter. Of course, last week it was a one-run draw for the Cannons up against Caroline Springs George Cross. Joshua Whiteley scored his first goal of the season for the Georgies, who started the season like a house on fire, sort of trailed away just that little bit. And, of course, the goal came from Labib Labib. Took a wicked deflection on the way through. And when you afford Labib Labib space, he can really do his best work. Did receive a bit of space in that first half, but unfortunately his shot whisked well wide. In fact, so wide it went out for a throw-in. Muir.
He almost seemed to snatch at that save, Manos, but lucky to get away with it in the end.
Oh, yeah. See a few tackles flying in here and there as eventually cooler heads prevail. And Joseph Ford asking plenty of questions. Ott, can he get his head onto that? He can't. Fornaroli tracking deep. And he's been upended by Labib Labib. So another set-piece opportunity for Avondale. And just calling for calm here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Trycheski, lateral pass. Oh, wasn't well weighted for Jacob Muir. That will completely change the pressing shape for the Oakleigh Cannons. Here is Yute Towns. Patrick Flopman. Traore. Lofted ball. And committing the foul. I think just pushing Matthew Miller down was George Ott. In fact, I think it might have been Connor Hampson. Avondale will have routes to goal. They will have space in the channels. The question is, can they capitalise on such opportunities? We'll see as to how the next 42 minutes of regulation time will fare in that instance.
Manos driving the ball wide. You can see the bit of desperation in the Avondale's play here. It's, Gibson plays it wide. Trying to find the wings here. Labib does well to mop up that diagonal ball. Ball by Trachevsky, finding only space and straight out for a goal kick for the Cannons. And they'll take that all day, every day at the moment, having been 1-0 up.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to say. I think on the balance, Oakleigh definitely will be very happy with how that first half panned out. They took their chances when they were forthcoming. And Matthew Miller with a delightful finish. Delightful header. And has really set the tone for this contest here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Of course, the other match, Preston up against Hume City. 0-0 at half-time. That match will probably resume in just over 10 minutes.
Just got some results from the VPL 1. Langawarren 2, Melbourne Victory Youth 2. Northcote 0-0, top of the table clash with the Melbourne Knights. And Brunswick Juventus 2-0 up against Western United. Anthony Barbieri trying to show his wares with Brunswick Juventus and doing quite well with them this season.
Oh, yeah. He's done impeccably well. Here's Fornaroli. Trachevsky, is he onside? Oh, he completely fizzes the chance. But yeah, I think
little hopeful there.
Yeah, most definitely.
Probably didn't realise that he was nowhere near the goal at that point in time.
Yeah, he's a player that you would know where he was in situ compared to the net, but I don't think he quite got his bearings right there. Anthony Barbieri, if he can get that Juve side up into the top flight, it would be a marvellous sight for all, of course, historic side and across the National Soccer League. And multi-time Doherty Cup winners as well. Of course, that club has sort of ventured into so many different football clubs across Victoria. I mean, there's a whole notion of the merger-to-merger chart. Of course, the Brunswick Zebras, Manningham United, etc., etc. So, yeah, I'm sure more that you could tell me about on that much.
Yeah, well, certainly trying to bring back the old brigade there, and I know that his father used to be part of that club, and he's a very proud man, his dad. Lovely guy. And no doubt, let's not forget, we had a couple of championship seasons with Anthony when he came back after a spell on the sidelines with Chisholm, which was a great couple of years as Labib finds himself offside. So always good to see him do well, and he's done well. He even beat Oakleigh in the cup, as you said earlier.
Yeah, what an incredible result that was.
A really good win, and he's found himself in the Australian Cup because of that. They did lose to Heidelberg in the semis, which wasn't a bad effort of the Doherty Cup, but they're definitely in the Australia Cup.
That's to be sure. Oh, Ford lost his footing. Traore, lateral pass is Otts, just on the edge of the area. Now space for Towns, who's deep in the channel. Lundy with the attempted cross. Kept in play by Carpenter. He's got a wand of a left foot. Delightful pass for Traore. Fornaroli back to goal. Hooks, strikes, and Manos saves. Avondale with intentional play in the final third. However, unable to really pierce any gaps in the box because Oakleigh have got such a rigid back four. And that's why they are one of the best defensive teams in this competition. As we see, they look to venture forward yet again through Kingsley Sinclair. Of course, you look at the midfields of old and Cameron McGilp and Ollie Kubele, that's more of a distant thought at this point. It's Ford. His pass is now cut off. Trachevsky weaving through the middle. He's got Green to his left and Carpenter to his right. But how well of a job did Oakleigh do to close the channels? That was a great challenge from Labib as well. I thought it would be play on there, but he brought it back for the free kick.
But that was a bit harsh. I thought he won that ball.
And if you look at the combined goals across these clashes since 2015, 98. And we're approaching the 100th. If there were to be a second one tonight, Trycheski. Lofted ball. Headed on. Max Green!
I tell you what.
What a chance.
That was a big chance, Neil. I tell you what. Great ball in and the header across. And really, they should have done better with that. At least make the goalkeeper save the ball. Chance gone begging, and probably the best chance of the game for Avondale. And Max Green would be a little bit disappointed with himself.
Oh, what a chance for Max Green. What an opportunity for him. The ex-Sutherland Shark, and I mean, what an incredible goal-scoring record he had in 2023. 21 goals in 13 games with Gungahlin. That was a side that also included George Timotheu, alongside his brother Anthony, ex-Schalke, Victory and Adelaide United defender. Set-piece opportunity for Avondale, and for the first time tonight, Carpenter might have a stab at it. It goes low. Not sure what the intention was there. Miller. Trundles forward. Labib. First time ball. It's to Radovic. And he lost his footing. Lundy there to pick up the scraps. Hits the head of Campbell Strong. And now Hampson bypasses Trycheski. And last touch did come off the cannons. It will be an Avondale throw.
Just have to think that Oakleigh really look at the break. When they go on the break, they look very dangerous. The speed of Labib and the precision of White, Guest and Miller. They look a lot more fluent going forward at the moment. But when you've got the likes of Fornaroli in your team, we know what he can do out of nothing. You don't be so successful playing for Melbourne City, Victory and Perth Glory if you don't know how to play up front. Free kick there on Fornaroli. And some good sportsmanship. As Traore, what can he do? Trying to find a way forward. Flotman goes all the way back, which really is a little uncharacteristic.
That's
especially
happened
when you're chasing the game.
Yeah, that's happened a few times tonight. Sorry to interrupt, but that just allows Oakleigh to press that little more, which is a intriguing factor to observe.
Offside. Flag went up early. Like I said, they'll take that all day of the week. The Cannons are certainly not chasing the game. Gully have got one back. 3-1 at the moment for Altona. 90 plus at the moment there. Scorers for Altona, McCloskey, Mabok and Lunga. And the man sent off for Green Gully was Diego Cuba. And South Melbourne, 2-0 up. Pasquale and Yoshida.
Traore. Avondale with a lot of the ball in this left-hand channel. Trycheski, stutter steps. The turning circle was immaculate, was nearly fouled there by Campbell Strong. And decides to play to Ute Towns, and it was just underneath the foot of George Ott. Unfortunately for him, wasn't able to take full possession of the football. As we see now, Thomas.
Do we
Manos.
have a prediction for tomorrow's game in the World Cup, Neil? What are you thinking?
Oh,
Spain or Belgium?
how do I take a Senol NPL Men's Victoria lens onto this? Can't think of any Belgian players that have played in the league thus far. Oh, you'd say on the balance Spain, for sure. However, I'm sure Esteban Quintas, who's currently coaching in Spain, I believe in the 5th tier of Spain, would be getting behind the Spanish national team. Of course, Argentinian born, of course. From a neutral, I don't even know, to be honest. What do you think?
I think Spain at the moment may be a little bit too strong, but if Oakleigh going forward, Labib does well. Still Labib. He's still got the ball. Twisting, turning, and losing the ball. Traore plays the ball forward. Probably if my buddy Courtois does his job, he can maybe push it into extra time and anything can happen.
As we know, anything can happen in the World Cup, and so too in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. The man who's collecting the ball right now, Joseph Ford, had a very intriguing career before arriving at the Oakleigh Cannons. Of course, 17 matches for the Perth Glory in the A-League, was teammates with Jacob Muir. 1 cap for the young Socceroos. And I want to make a very interesting point about the squad that he featured in September 2022. Another man in that squad was a man by the name of Paul Ocon-Enxler, who, of course, was a starting midfielder against Turkey and the USA.
He's just signed with Cologne.
Yes, there's strong rumours linking Paul Ocon Jr. or Paul Ocon-Enxler to FC Köln. Approximately €1 million to arrive in the back pockets of those at Sydney FC. So certainly he's played with well-credentialed players as Joseph Ford, and has done a really good job for the Cannons tonight as well, as an incredibly audacious run forward from Campbell Strong, and that's cut off by Traore. Trycheski, Fornaroli in space. He's deadly in these positions. It's Bruno Fornaroli, and has sent that too far and wide, and will actually be a moment to posit the first change of the evening. And this time for the Cannons, if you want to bring on pace and deadly striking acumen, it's that man right there, Liston Diaz, who did score in the reverse fixture earlier on in the campaign in the second half. And he's a player that can do it at the highest level, and did it for Avondale for many, many years. And he's featured off the bench a fair few times this season as Liston Diaz. And this will mark his 15th appearance. 15th, sorry, should I say? It would have been his 15th start tonight if he were to start, but wasn't so fortunate. Injury troubles across his campaign as well.
Bit of questions of the referee there, but the free kick was given. And here we are now. Another dangerous free kick from that man Guest. Can Neil afford to concede another one here? Neil. Swerving ball, back post, dispossessed. And now, good defending there by Hampson. Done a great job there, Neil, on the safety.
Oh, yeah. Really well done by Connor Hampson. A delightful player to have at your disposal. Technically very strong, and I think, obviously very much in his early 30s now, and has the ability to change games on his left foot, and versatile across the park as well. Has deputised at centre back this campaign as well. Deft touch, Labib in the central channel. It's going to force Jacob Muir out wide, which is an uncomfortable position for the former Glory man, as Labib will win his side a throw in. Not quite the corner he was looking for, you'd have to say. He's been good tonight, Labib.
Very impressed with him. He's one of the positive aspects of Oakleigh's game in the last couple of months.
Here's Joe Guest. Low-footed delivery. And Diaz was lingering at the back post. Carpenter hasn't got many options initially, but Green is asking for it. Pass has probably come a bit too late, but Carpenter has the confidence to bypass. And that hit the shoulder of Joseph Ford. Miller keeps it in play. Labib plays it back for Kingsley Sinclair. I think Patrick Wall is getting ready to come on alongside Emlyn Wellsmore. Labib has space on the angle across the byline and is bundled in. And I think that might be an own goal, but Labib will take the plaudits.
Dangerous. Great run down that right-hand side. And I almost thought, Neil, why isn't he taking it in and having a strike and just making Gibson's life a little tougher? But he done the right thing, went down the line, and really a lot of pace there, and there wasn't any chance of a clearing ball. And as you said, it must have been an own goal in the end. And the Cannons have just made it even tougher now for Avondale to try and get something from this game.
Yeah, it looks to have come off, I think, Jacob Muir. So on a great night for him. And the double change completed. It wasn't Patrick Wall. It was actually one Adam Zimalino, who will get some minutes off the bench alongside Emlyn Wellsmore. Lundy to make way.
Just as we were talking there, Preston's gone 1-0 up against Hume.
Well, if you talk about a very disappointing night for Hume City, it's through that avenue that would certainly be difficult for them. Of course, going down to a formidable and red-hot Preston.
Plenty of time left. There's 40 minutes left in that game, but it is 1-0 to the home side. And interesting times. Like we said, not sure who was awarded with that goal, but it definitely was an own goal. As the Cannons go forward now. Dangerous stuff here. What can they get out of this one? Shot across goal. And really, maybe a back post ball would have been a little bit better, Neil.
Well, Jacob Muir completely mistimed the trapping of the pass, which caused a counter-attack. Avondale can ill afford to put themselves in those positions. If they were to fall tonight, it would certainly put a huge question mark over their, I guess, position to compete in finals, I suppose. I mean, they do have the advent of Patrick Wall, who is available. Aside Mukaksha, who started last week against Preston. And Matthew Reed, who, of course, returns from injury. All available if they need them. But it looks as if Oakleigh are very content to see this out at 2-0. And why wouldn't they be? They've approached this game with a level of professionalism. And, of course, they haven't had a direct route to goal in play, per se. From a, well, that was an own goal. Let's call a spade. But they've looked the more professional, more set up, a more ordained side in the attacking channels and attacking movements. That's where they've best succeeded, as we see Manos Tries this long. Muir has given away the foul. Might Oakleigh go to their bench again? We'll see. Guest quickly taken. And I think Matt Miller was offside there. In fact, was it Connor Hampson? Yes, it was.
Just on 70 minutes here. 20 minutes and stoppages for Avondale to try and dig something out of this game. The game against Dandenong City and South Melbourne has ended South Melbourne 2-0 victors, which temporarily will see them in the top 6 after that result.
Level on points with Heidelberg United. Isn't that a fascinating predicament to be in? Who could have saw that coming?
Heidelberg are very unlucky to be. They lost like 3 or 4 games 1-0, which, was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, and
they
Bentley
got back to their winning ways.
Bentley need a win tomorrow to keep their hopes of safety alive, shall we say, against Dandenong Thunder at George Andrews Reserve. Here's Diaz through the channel. Miller is available. Diaz looks right. Labib again. Oh, it's set up so well for him. And whenever he receives space in the channels, Labib is always going to make an action worth talking about. And now Flopman towards Traore. Labib upended by Traore. Strong. Ford. Oh, the ball was across the face. No one to meet it. Trycheski. Will he receive it again? He does. Charge down his own header. Carpenter. Lofted ball. Oh, Boyce got there so diligently well. Haven't spoken about him much tonight, but was very successful in that action. Zimolino, of course, has come on, formerly of the Perth Glory himself as well. Just 2 goals in the 25 appearances. His brother Paul also a talented NPL footballer in his own right. 18 games for the Brisbane Roar in the 24-25 season. Here's Carpenter with space to shoot, and Manos got there in time.
And surprisingly, Neil, Labib has been awarded the goal and must have crossed the line before the deflection or whatever from the defenders. I'm not sure there, but
I think it was an own goal, to be honest. That's my opinion. I mean, I think
that's
it was helped on.
I'll
that's
probably
my
agree
perspective.
with you there, but
yeah, we'll see.
It was a rocket ball across the box.
Oh, absolutely. Full credit to Labib. He pinpointed that ball in a fantastic space, and if Muir wasn't going to get onto that, I'm sure it would have been at least put on target by a Cannons player.
He won't be complaining about getting that goal. It probably that'd be about 4 goals in the last 5 games for him. It's amazing stuff.
Yeah, Labib has been a tantalising prospect across his career. Here is Adam Zimolino. Boyce gets it away. A chance for Avondale through the corner. And Trycheski is racing to get this one underway. In fact, the assistant referee on this near side is throwing the ball to Christian Trycheski. They've got tall timber available. Flopman, Ott, Muir. Wellsmore, you could say, is quite a tall fullback. It's Christian Trycheski delivered to the near post. Manos punches. Towns. Trycheski. approaching the byline. Stutter steps. His second effort wasn't nearly as good as the first, as we'll see Tom Manos look to get proceedings back underway for the Oakleigh Cannons, who find themselves up 2-0 against Avondale here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Diaz with the initial touch. Towns, the outside of the foot pass. Zimolino checking back into his own half. Flopman, Muir. Towns. Traore still on the park. Just got about the 60 minutes last week before coming off. Traore, good delivery. Well shaped. Oh, I'm not sure what Ute Towns was looking for there, but that is well and truly out for a throw-in.
Probably hoping that somehow it'll end up somewhere in near Manos's goal, but it's gone for a throw. And certainly plenty of time still left, but really Avondale haven't looked like they're going to even close to scoring other than the one chance, or maybe two half chances with Fornaroli spewing his shot wide. And now sprint of free kick by Diaz there. All played to Traore. Traore with his trusted left foot whipping the ball in. Still there, back to him. First time ball. No one there for him. Not the greatest of clearances by Miller. Chance now. Deep ball into the box. Chance for Avondale to try and dig something out. And Oakleigh get away with it now. Sprinting there by Sinclair. Ball played wide. Chance to get it away, and not the greatest of balls again by Diaz. And it's end-to-end at the moment. Neil, what do Avondale have to do here to try and edge their way back into this game?
I've got to be brutally honest. I really don't think there is a route back in this game for Avondale by virtue of at least winning it. I think they just have to have more opportunities on goal. But Oakleigh are closing down the space. They're closing down the channels. And they've done a very good job at that. In the 90 minutes that we're most likely going to see. And in the first 77 minutes, they've done a fantastic job. And, of course, we do see Sidebuk Kaksha make his way on the park for Ute Towns. A like for like. More on him to come for Fornaroli. A task to chase. He's kept that in play. Isolated with Brodie Boyce. And the young Queenslander did really well there. Fornaroli nutmegs Labib from the free kick. It did not remotely reach its target. Guessed. Play will continue. Campbell Strong is on the ground. And I think he might need medical attention. He seems to be in quite a bit of pain. There's a bit of a scuffle between Sidebuk Kaksha and Kingsley Sinclair. Well, Kaksha did arrive from FC Spartak Varna. A yellow card, I think, for Trojczewski. Arrives from Spartak Varna, where he made 20 appearances in the Bulgarian First Division, 2 starts in the Bulgarian Cup, but came on off the bench 19 times in the league. And he arrives match fit and ready to go. Of course, Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkova also had stints in Bulgaria, and those two featured at the Magic in recent seasons. Speaking of the Magic, they've had a really good night at Green Gully Reserve, back on the winners list. It looks like, as another change to be made. Patrick Wall is going to come on for Blake Carpenter. He's had an exceptional campaign in the in the city of Geelong with the North Geelong Warriors this season. 7 goals last season in 21 matches for the Melbourne Victory NPL side, and 13 starts in 16 games for North Geelong with 9 goals, and got his debut for the Avengers last week and got what was the go-ahead goal as they found themselves 2-1 up against Preston in the 85th minute.
Cannons now trying to find another gap here and really put it to bed. Chance to push the ball forward by Sinclair. Someone on the ground there. The referee's allowed play on. Complaining behind play there was a knockdown. Chance now to try and chisel his way forward. Zimmerino. Still Zimmerino. He's done okay. He's got the corner. Bit of a intensity now in the play of Avondale. They've got 10 minutes left on the clock, a normal time.
The Preston up 2-0 against Hume City as well.
Ball played wide. A deep ball and a chance now. Oh, fresh air there. Trying to get it back on song and cleared away by the Cannons. A bit of a fresh area there, Neil.
Oh, yeah. Rarely do you see Patrick Flopman make an air swing, but he has done so. Swing and a miss. Patrick Wall, 2007 born youngster. Muir, good first touch. Thought he was a bit hard done by not receiving a scholarship contract from the Melbourne Victory. Definitely looked to be their best player across their VPL 1 campaign last season. And Jonathan Germano and his coaching staff aren't too happy. Of course, they've also had a departure in the coaching ranks. Maxim Gajdovski, of course, the head analyst, departed for the Brisbane Roar alongside Jacopo La Rocca. And if you see videos on his Instagram account now from Brisbane, from sunny Brisbane, I might add, you would know why.
No doubt.
He was formerly of Zenit, St. Petersburg, as the head analyst there as well, before coming across to Melbourne, where he was the head coach of the Heidelberg United under-23 side. Another change for the Cannons. James Giorgio is going to come on, the ex-Melbourne City youngster.
He's done quite well coming off the bench for the Cannons, has Giorgio. And good to see the youngster doing quite well. Haven't had a full game the other week. Did quite well. And something, no doubt, got about 12 or so minutes to show his wares here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, as you mentioned, Arthur, not the coldest night in Melbourne. I'm sure we'd all rather be in Europe somewhere. I guess it's sunnier, but the best football is here in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. Quite perfect conditions after a lot of rain in recent weeks, has to be said. Here's Liston Diaz. His sighted goal will likely go out for a throw-in. In fact, it does. Traore. Talk about, his career, of course. Many a stint in Europe. With the likes of Vitoria de Guimarães, FC Basel, Gotzepe, of course, 3 stints at the Victory, A-League All-Star in 2022. And most importantly, 13 caps for Côte d'Ivoire, which is a well-credentialed national team, I'd have to say. And performed amicably well in the FIFA World Cup, I might add. They've got some very talented young players coming through at the moment.
No doubt. It's a bit of an injury there.
Yeah, I think it's Labib. Best not to risk him.
Still maybe going to be taken off now. Another substitution.
Yeah, I think Oakleigh will probably make yet another change, which will actually be their final change, as they've used up their 3 allotted.
It looks like Giaccarini.
Yeah, Brandon Giaccarini, of course, the arrival from GV Suns in VPL 2. The youngster, I believe he was involved with the GV Suns as a youngster all the way through the youth system. And in fact, you go all the way back to under 14s. He was in the same side as Goran Kuol, the current Socceroo, as well as, of course, playing for Sparta Prague. Traore fizzes across. No one to meet it. Guessed. I think he got some grass involved in that clearance. Flotman. It's Fornaroli. The back heel. Traore. Good delivery. It's Ott. It's kept in. And eventually Giaccarini sends that all the way up into the new grandstand. It's crazy to think that we used to commentate across that side, Arthur.
Oh, God.
With the commentary turret back in the day.
Yeah, on the scoreboard. Rain, hail, or shine. We were there.
Credit to the Monash City Council, Oakleigh Cannons, for this wonderful facility. One of the best in Victoria. There's a darting run, I think, from Emlyn Wellsmore, and he's won his side the free kick. A big, big chance for the away side in Avondale if they were to find a route back in this game. In this game, this fixture, no stranger to late goals. And Trycheski will stand over this one. Wall, Ott, Muir, and Flotman, the intended targets. Stefan Zini with a second goal against Hume City at Genesis Steel Stadium as we head into what will be a massive few weeks for that side. Trycheski, I took a deflection on the way through. Will it sit for Fornaroli? Oh, the attempted acrobatic. I thought it might have found its way through, but it didn't. That was no stranger to what we've witnessed from Bruno Fornaroli. Wellsmore's attempted cross is upended, and he's also conceded his side throw in.
Great effort there. He's trying everything, is Bruno Fornaroli, but yet to breach Thomas Manos's goal. And if he can keep that clean sheet, the Cannons will march forward and extend that gap on the top. A few extra points. And some big games next week as well. Very interesting games next week.
Well, it's a very intriguing clash for the aforementioned Preston next week. Of course, they face off against South Melbourne and in the big show at Lakeside Stadium. It's going to be a packed Saturday, 18th of July. And Avondale's next test is St Albans at home at that 3 p.m. time slot as they win themselves a free kick. Oakleigh Cannons in action in probably the more pressing match of the campaign, a top of the table clash between Oakleigh and Hume City, with Hume City with an opportunity to cut that lead down to 3 and might down to 1 per se, And that could be the title sealer potentially for the Oakleigh Cannons if they're able to win that game next week.
No doubt. Deep ball. Still in play. And now there's a break on for the Cannons. If they can get past this wall. And no real direction in that pass. Avondale throwing everything at the Cannons now. Switching play. Trachevsky. Deep ball. He's gone to try and chip Manos from a distance, which really was a little wishful thinking there.
Oh, yeah. Wishful thinking indeed. And Oakleigh, barring miraculous circumstances, will likely go into the sheds with a much needed win to kickstart their final six matches of the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. Miller with a header. It's Diaz. 5 minutes of added time. Traore. Zimmerino. Saw the advent of Wall. That ball was slightly overhit. Manos in no rush. And will take the goal kick.
Zero desperation by Manos, and rightly so. It's almost forlorn look on the supporters of the Avengers as they try to make their way through this wall of defence of Oakleigh. Free kick now to Miller. I think it was on the far side of the ground. And the Cannons will just take their time, soak up as much time as they can. Screaming is Jack Gibson to wake up. Switches play. Last roll of the dice. Not a good one. And deep ball for Liston Diaz. Guest. Twisting by Georgiou there. Done well, really well there. He's asking for the ball in the middle of the ground. And probably a wasted ball in the end from... looked like it was Giacarini.
You look at the fight for the top six. Avondale, you'd say, are pretty safe at the moment on 34 points. They'll still be in third regardless of tonight's action. Preston Lions sit in fourth place on 32 points. Heidelberg in fifth. South Melbourne in sixth. As a cheap foul given away by Saad Mukaksha. That's been the story of Avondale's season. Haven't really found consistent form in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. They've been the biggest winning streak in the league in recent times was 4 from their 4-0 win against South Melbourne all the way to their 11-0 win against Dandenong Thunder. And since that time, 3 games, 270 minutes of football, 1 goal. It's crazy what a 11-0 win can do for you.
Tell you
in both
what,
positive and negative ways,
ago, doesn't it?
And just the 1 draw for them across the season as well. Only draw came against the Cannons in late March. So they've got a lot of soul searching to do, the Avengers, if they want to turn their season around. But you never know what they can do from 3rd or 4th position. Diaz in space. He would love another goal against his former side as he drives into space. pushed off by Flopman, and Adama Traore find it into the space where Fornaroli lies. He's brought to ground. Listen, Diaz is remonstrating with the assistant referee, saying he didn't call that. I'm not sure what the point is in arguing that one. Like this current state of play, it's nullified in that sort of intent is Tchaikovsky with a floated delivery. Flopman at the back post was Patrick Wall. And good on the Oakleigh players for bringing him back up to feet. Well, where to next for the Cannons? They are rolling high and rolling strong.
No doubt they've cemented their top spot after tonight, and really you'd have to say that just a workmanlike performance. Nothing too flash, but certainly effective. And chasing the game has been the story for Avondale, and the full-time whistle has gone here at Jack Edwards Reserve, where the home side has run away with a 2-0 win against Avondale. Goal scorers was Miller, and it's been given to Labib, but we seem to think it might have been an own goal. Neil, final thoughts?
Professional, diligent, and a lack of drama. That's sometimes what these big games can be. A true testament to the Cannons' resilience and rigidity going forward. As for Avondale, they've got a lot of growing to do. A lot of growing and a lot of soul-searching to do. Where might they pan out in the next few weeks? We'll see. But as for next week, top of the table clash. Oakleigh, Hume, 18th of July at what will be a packed Saturday afternoon next week in the Senol NPLM Men's Victoria. I've been Neil Simons. He's been the great Arthur Akratides. Hope you all have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you next time.